Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Imagine a world where you can prove your identity with a single secure digital credential. That's the promise of Microsoft Entra Verified ID, a managed verifiable credential service that lets organizations issue and verify digital credentials, giving you the power to build secure, seamless experiences right into your own applications. I'm Jazz Suri.
And I'm Yolo, Product Manager with the Micro Identity Product Group. In this video series, we are going to dive deep into the world of the Verified ID credentials. You'll learn the complete lifecycle, from how to define a Verified ID credential in your Micro Entra ID tenant, how to issue them to individuals, and finally, how to present those credentials within your own application. To start, this first video will focus on defining Verified ID credentials within your tenant.
Microsoft Entra Verified ID is a managed verifiable credential service that lets organizations issue and verify digital credentials. It comes with ready-to-use features that simplify the identity verification process for you, like issuing verified employee credentials through My Account portal, providing secure access to resources through access packages, enabling self-service account recovery, and more. These building out-of-the-box capabilities are perfect for many identity verification use cases. However, organizations with unique requirements may find themselves in a scenario where a custom solution is more suitable choice. The good news, building a custom Verified ID solution is pretty straightforward. A Verified ID solution has two core functions: issuing a Verified ID and presenting them. This simplicity means you can easily integrate Verified ID into your own custom portal or application. When an organization issues Verified ID credentials, they choose a specific information or claims to include. They essentially attest that the information about the subject or the person is accurate. Also, the Verified ID credential contains the name of the organization which issued the credential, their domain name, and it's digitally signed, which confirms that the credential came from the expected organization and has not been tampered with. To issue your own Verified ID credentials, you start by defining the Verified ID credential itself in your Entra ID tenant. A single tenant can support several types of Verified ID credentials, such as Student ID, Contractor Badge, or Visitor Pass.
Now let's see it in action. In this demo, let's create the Verified ID Visitor Pass. It's a fictional credential that helps show the core concepts of Verified ID. Go to Microsoft Entra Admin Center at entra.microsoft.com and sign in with your admin account. You'll need an account with the Authentication Policy Admin role or the Global Admin role. From the menu, select Verified ID. Then select Credentials. In the Credentials page, select Create Credential. Select Custom Credential, and then select Next. Enter a name for your credential. This will be used to identify your Verified ID in the Microsoft Entra portal for admin purposes. The new credential definition page provides a template you can customize to meet your business needs. Start with the display definition. The display definition component focuses on the visual aspects of the credential that gets displayed in the Authenticator app to the user and what claims it will contain. Update the title to your preferred choice, such as Visitor Pass. For the Issued By attribute, enter your organization name like Contoso. Also set the background color for the credential and the text color. Enter a URL of the logo image you like, and then add a description for the logo. The credential description provides information about the credential, which is displayed when the user selects to view the credential properties. In the consent element, add a title, and then instructions to the user. This will be displayed to the user when they obtain their credential for the first time. And finally, the claims. The template provides you with two claims, first name and last name. Each claim has a claim identifier, a label, and a type. Update the claims collection to best suit your business needs. For example, in this scenario, set the claim attribute to display name. You'll use this value later. The label that will show in the Authenticator app. The claim is of type string, since the display name is plain text. Change the last name claim to email, and change its label to email. Copy one of the claims and add it to the collection, so you can add an additional one. Change a claim to photo to store the user's profile picture. It will be used for the face check. Change the type of the photo claim to image/JPEG base64 URL. That allows you to store the image in base64 format.
Let's move on to explore the next section, the rules definition. The rule definition states how claims are obtained and structured, the lifespan of the credential, the type of the credential, and more. It starts with attestation element, which defines the source of the claims that will be included in the verified ID. The type of attestation in this case is ID token int, that is where your application provides the claims values. There are other types of attestation applicable to different scenarios, as we will explain soon. The mapping collection within the attestation block maps the input claim to output claim. The input claims reference the values received from your application, and the output claims must match the respective claims in the display definition. We will continue with the example of the visitor pass. Change the first name output claim to display name. Repeat the change for the input claim to display name. Set the required to true, since the visitor's name must be provided. Change the last name output claim to email. And repeat the change for the input claim. Copy the JSON element so we can use it to add a photo claim. Still in the email claim, set the index to true. It will allow you to search for the credential in the Verified ID service using the visitor's email address, making it easier to search and revoke credentials. Only one claim is indexable for a given Verified ID credential. Finally, paste the claim you copied, and change the input and the output claims from email to photo. Next, the validity interval element represents the lifespan of the credential in seconds. In this demo, we will set the visitor pass to be valid for 90 days. Please refer to our documentation for further information regarding the validity interval. And finally, the type of the credential. When application requests a user to present their verified ID, the type is used to request a specific credential from the Authenticator app. The Authenticator app searches for the credential which matches that type. If found, prompts the user to present it. Multiple types are supported for flexibility. Then select Create to create the verified ID credential. After the verified ID credential is created, you can make further changes as needed. However, changes to the credentials definition will apply only to credentials issued after saving these changes, and will not affect already issued credentials. Now that the verified ID credential has been set up, you can begin issuing it to individuals with the appropriate verified ID definition, as we will explain in the next video.
The verified ID credential we just demonstrated is known as the ID token hint attestation. We'll now introduce you to the other available attestations. Let's start with the ID tokens attestation. This is different than the ID token hints attestation. The ID tokens type relies on an OpenID Connect provider to serve as the primary proof of the user's identity. If you're not familiar with the concept of an identity provider, it's a service that centrally manages the user's identities and authentication, enabling single sign-on for applications. When a user starts the process of obtaining this type of verified ID, Microsoft Authenticator app will redirect them to sign in using their existing account with that identity provider. The user enters their credentials like username and password, or sign in with MFA. Upon successful sign-in, the identity provider returns an ID token to the Authenticator app, and its claims are extracted and added to the verified ID credential. In this example, Woodgrove membership attests that the user has a valid Woodgrove account. The claims that were extracted from the token are display name and the member ID. In the rules definition of the credential, the attestation is ID tokens. Then, the details of the OpenID Connect identity provider, like the client ID, the well-known configuration endpoint, redirect URI, and scopes. Pay attention to the input and output claims. In ID tokens attestation, the input claims are the claims to be extracted from the ID token. The output claims are claims you defined in the display definition of the credential. This will map the claims from the ID token into the claims presented in the verified ID credential. The presentations type allows you to leverage an existing verified ID credential as a necessary proof to acquire a new one. Think of it as digitally reusing trusted identity assets that are issued by organizations that you trust. For example, imagine you possess a verified employee credential issued by your organization. To gain access to a temporary worksite run by a separate entity, you simply present this existing credential. Entra Verified ID validates your verified employee credential, and in exchange issues you a new temporary visitor pass credential. The new visitor pass includes a subset of the claims from the original verified employee credential. In the rules definition, the attestation type is presentations. Then the details of the credential, like the manifest URL and its type. The claims mapping follows the same principles as the ID tokens attestation.
The self-issued attestation type is the most straightforward method, relying on a direct user input. The process requires users to manually enter specific data point directly into the Authenticator app, which is then included in the Verified ID credential. For example, if the goal is to digitally record a user's consent to your company term of service, you would affirm their agreement by manually entering their name and then simply declaring yes to the consent claim, which is then included in the Verified ID. In the rules definition, the attestation type is set to self-issued. The input and output claim names are as defined in the display definition. The Verified Employee credential is a special one. It offers a simple way for employees to prove their employment status. Employees with Microsoft Entra ID account can easily obtain these credentials themselves through the My Account portal. The attestation type is access tokens and known as directory-based claims. The credentials claims are automatically populated from the user's profile, like the display name, job title, and user principal name. Beyond this, organizations have the flexibility to issue the credential through their own custom applications. The schema is fixed and you should not change it. Instead, if you choose the quick setup for your Verified ID service, this Verified Employee credential is ready to go, created automatically in your tenant. If you use the advanced setup, a simple manual setup is required. You have the flexibility to use multiple attestations within a single credential, which allows you to combine claims from different sources. To set this up, go to the rules definition and populate the attestations collection with the attestations you want to include. Here is an example. The first attestation is a presentation type, which requires a user to present a Verified ID first. Then the second attestation type is self-issued, where the user will have to provide additional information in the Authenticator app. The types of attestation are well documented. For more information, please refer to our documentation.
To make your Verified ID credentials discoverable, publish them to the Entra Verified ID network. This gives other organizations the essential details needed to quickly start a presentation request for Verified ID credentials that you issue. From the menu, select Credentials. Select the credential you want to publish. Select Issue a Credential. Then, select Publish Credential to Verified ID Network and save the changes. Publishing to the Verified ID Network is optional. Alternatively, you can manually share your Verified ID credentials, like the DID authority and credential type with other organizations.
In this video, you learn how to define and configure a Verified ID credential within your Microsoft Entra ID tenant using the popular ID token int attestation method. Then we explore the flexibility of other attestation types and showed you how to implement multiple attestations to combine claims from different sources. Finally, we demonstrated the steps to publish a Verified ID credential to the Microsoft Entra Verified ID network, allowing other organizations to accept credentials you issued. This gives you the foundation needed to start building a custom Verified ID solution.
In the next video, you'll learn how to issue Verified ID credentials to individuals and how to present them securely within your applications. You can find the next video at aka.ms/vid/training. Thank you all for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.